Hey everybody, welcome to Funnel Hacker TV. This is special because this is not only the first episode of Funnel Hacker TV in 2024. Happy New Year, by the way, but it's also our 100th episode. Woohoo! We did it. 100 episodes. So stick around. We have some cool things to talk about, and just come celebrate the new year with us. So we'll get started right after we roll that intro.
We are part of an underground group of entrepreneurs that you've probably never even heard of before. We are Funnel Hackers, and these are our stories.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Funnel Hacker TV. My name is Ben Woot. This is the wonderful Susan Leonardson. This is our 100th episode with Funnel Hacker TV. We're not going to spend a lot of time celebrating that. If you guys want to celebrate with us, if you guys remember being on the journey, let us know when you jumped into the journey, when you started to follow. Was it on YouTube? Was it on Facebook? What episode was it? If you guys remember, that'd be great. We just want to be able to chat with you guys and be able to share some 2024 ideas. So first off, we're going to go a little bit over the water cooler, kind of talk about some things that are happening at ClickFunnels, and then how do you take that into your 2024 resolutions? And then Susan is going to have a moment where she's going to be able to have a funnel hacking time. I don't really know what this is, so this is really exciting. So first off, everybody, happy 2024. We're so excited for you. Susan, have you written down your New Year's resolutions yet?
Okay, I'm gonna identify with the other half of the audience that's like, I don't really set resolutions.
No.
Really, because I just have I have goals that I have set for the year. But
Okay.
as far as like the traditional resolution, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do better in all the areas that I can feel I could do better in, and that's gonna be my resolution. Is just continue to progress day by day.
So I've been thinking about my New Year's resolutions for over a month. I'm one of those. I'm the exact opposite. I'm like, this is what needs to happen. If I'm going to hit my health goals, I need to start doing some mini exercises now. So like I've been having a month of practicing for my resolutions. And then I believe it was literally, I think it was on New Year's Eve, I sat down on my Excel spreadsheet and I planned. I said, if this could happen on this day, and this could happen this, and then Russell's got these ideas. I want to double down on this. I want to organize. So, like, I've got my own resolutions as well that are kind of crazy. But I kind of did it as almost like a launch plan. It's like a calendar date. It's like by this is going to happen, and that reverse schedules up to the resolutions that I have to do. And so, really quick, what we want to talk to you guys about is how do you reach your 2024 resolutions or goals? Like, how do we actually reach them? I don't know if you guys listen to this. If we can share my screen really quick, Christian. If you guys listen to the recent Marketing Secrets podcast episode, there's two here, and two of them are very, 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 very valuable. If you guys are feeling down in the slumps and you're trying to figure out where to go, and you're like, I'm on the hero's journey, but I hate it. Like, these are the episodes to listen to for a moment. So the first one is from last week, and it's entitled, Is This One of Our Final Podcast Episodes? This is really important and powerful. I think it's not often that Russell shares, like, when he has a moment where things aren't going perfectly. I think in our media, we try to be perfect. We try to do all this. And this is Russell just being raw. And I don't think any of us he did it. I remember talking to his brother, and his brother's pushing it out. He's like, if you're going to listen to this, like, just beware. It's raw, man. I'm like, okay. And so we talked about it afterwards. Like, it's a very raw episode. And I'd highly recommend listening to it. A lot of us kind of feel like that at some point. And this last episode, I want to highlight In Your Secret Thoughts, Are You the Goat? This is like Russell's kind of comeback. If you're rocky on the ropes and you're getting hit, what does the coach say in your ear that gets you up and moving? This is that moment. And it's Russell, and it's live, and it's like him learning and implementing this actively. If you want to be able to be a part of that, that's really, really powerful. Susan, did I miss anything in that really quick? Because there's some clips that I want to play from that I think are going to be really helpful for everybody as they're reaching their goals.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's great what you said. It's just definitely these resonate with me. Especially this time of year, I was thinking about it of like, it's like we get like all this motivation and momentum throughout the year, and then holidays hit. And I feel like for a lot of us, we get into the holidays, we're taking that step back, and sometimes it's really hard. And also there's like a lot of reflecting going on of like, you're taking that time, you're being with family, you're like, oh, is this all worth it? Right. And you get into this thought process of like, what am I doing this for? What, like, and you start to lose a little bit of that momentum. And I think these 2 episodes are so awesome, especially the latest one where Russell really identifies, like, for him, what's going on. And as I was listening to that, I was like, oh my gosh, like I need to realign my mindset, because I think this may be what might be going on a little bit. When you start second guessing things, especially at the new year, when you're setting those resolutions and those goals, and you're like, okay, what am I really doing? What am I working for? What is my big goal? And can I do it? Like having that belief. Definitely go listen to those. Okay. Continue.
And so let's, okay. So he kind of plans on how he's going to reach his New Year's resolutions. Now, Russell, after putting out that podcast episode, everyone's like, whoa, two weeks ago, he came up with this several different plans that are just going to rock the boat and change things and cause madness. And like, it's going to change the world as we know it, which is really exciting. And I cannot tease any more beyond that, because it's exciting and it's really, really cool. And he's excited and he's on fire. And he made those resolutions, and now he came back and said, now this is how I'm playing the mental game to make sure I meet those. And so what I want to do is I want to share a couple of clips. One of them is 3 minutes long. This is long. There's not a lot of animation on here. So guys, in the chat, just let us know if you guys are okay with that. If you guys are okay with us playing a clip from the podcast or 2, because these are worthwhile. They're valuable. They hit different. And they're things that you need to pay attention to. So first off, these are a lot of secrets of success kind of mind stuff. So like if you guys have gone into secrets of success, if not, highly recommend it. Go check it out. There's an amazing Mifke, help you get on the right mindset for 2024. But he talks a little about who he's studying for the next month, which is Robert Collier. And so he was at the library, just spending time himself, trying to figure out the funk. And he started to study Robert Collier. And Robert Collier's talked about how you have to see yourself as what? How you have to see yourself as the GOAT. And so we're going to go ahead and play these clips for you guys really quick. This first one is about 3 minutes long, and then we'll chat on it. I want to get your guys' opinions. We're going to call them out as we get them. So let us know kind of what you see. Not a lot of fun animations on the screen this time. So definitely listen, take a moment with us, and work through this with us if you would. So here we go.
Wrestling growing up. I remember in my head, I thought I had a unique advantage over everyone else. And I don't know if I did or if I didn't, but in my head, I had this advantage. And it was the fact that my dad was a college wrestler. I'm like, my dad's a college wrestler. Now, the other guys on my team, other teams have that. So like I have this unique advantage that makes me so I can be like the best, right? And I always had that like in my back pocket. It's just like a thing. And I remember there was a movie, or like it was a wrestling movie I used to watch all the time. And it was about Iowa wrestling, who, the Hawkeyes are one of the best wrestling teams of all time. And there were 2 twin brothers, Tom and Terry Brands. And this video was all about them and their training and their lifestyle and everything. And I remember the video started, and it started with Tom Brands. Like, my name is Tom Brands. My goal is simple. I want to be the greatest wrestler in the whole world. And the next pop up, and it was like, my name's Terry Brands. My goal is simple. I want to be the greatest wrestler in the whole world. And then the rest of the video was these guys just showing their crazy training routine, right? What they were doing to try to become the best in the world. And I remember hearing that, and like in my head, I was like when I was competing, I would never say it out loud, because there's like, I don't know, we have this thing where it's not socially acceptable to say these things out loud. But in my head, I was like, my name is Russell Brunson, and my goal is simple. I want to be the greatest wrestler in the whole world. And then I acted as if I was. Like in my head, I was like, I have this unique advantage. I am the greatest, and I wasn't, but I was like, but I felt like I had what I needed to do. Like I was confident in myself. And I started pursuing that. And from that, I never became the greatest wrestler in the whole world, but, I became a state champ. I took 2nd place in the nation. I got a college scholarship. I was in the top 10 in the NCAA, like all these different things, right, that came on the backside of it, of just believing in my own mind that I was the greatest of all time, right, the GOAT. And I like that. I'm gonna use that as the acronym for this, the GOAT, GOAT, greatest of all time. And there's a quote from Andrew Carnegie. Dan Kennedy's quoted this a lot. I think he always quotes it a little off. I like Dan Kennedy's version of the quote better. I found one that's, I think, what Andrew Carnegie actually said. And Carnegie's like, he was one of the richest men. He might have been the richest man in the world back then. But he said, be a man who in his secret thoughts believes himself to be superior to most men, thus deserving of great wealth and power. Okay? So it's in your secret thoughts, believing to be superior to most men. So what that means is, like, again, it's not socially acceptable to be like, I am the GOAT, I am the greatest. Although we have a lot of people in this industry who do that everywhere, right? But in our secret thoughts, we have to believe that. Like when I was wrestling, I had to believe I was the best. When I stepped on the mat, I had to believe I was the best. In fact, Dan Gable, who was Tom and Terry Brand's coach, he used to say, like, I won't let a wrestler step on the mat unless in their mind they know they're going to win before they go out there. And he would pull guys. He was notorious for, like, a guy come out there, look in his eyes, he's like, this guy's nervous, his self-confidence. He'd pull him, like, you're not going to wrestle for me. Like, you have to know in your secret thoughts that you are superior to most other men, to all other men, to the people you are competing against.
Susan, I want to let you say what you just commented in the chat.
Yeah. Right? Okay. So I figured,
was...
like, during that time, I'll hang out in the comments and chat a little bit over on Facebook. So I just had the thought that as we were listening to it this time around, and what I said was, I just love Russell sharing this with us, because every time I have conversations with people about, like, Russell and what they think of it, it's usually around, like, Funnel Hacking Live, right? And they're like, we just love Russell. I always hear comments about how humble he is, how people are attracted to Russell because he's, like, humble. He's not, showy. He's not, right. Like, he's just this, like, average guy seeming and really humble. But this being shared from Russell and him talking about the inner mindset that he has to have to be able to go out and do the things that he's trying to accomplish is, like, the ultimate example of how humility and confidence can exist together. And I think that maybe some people might think, I feel like I've thought this myself of, like, how can I be humble and giving and service oriented, but also, like, be a little bit, I'm going to use the word cutthroat, but that's not really what I mean, but, like, really confident. I'm like, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to get it done and have that confidence I need and, think that I'm the best at something. And so Russell's kind of giving me permission to have those two things work together.
And it's like, for me, like, it's funny because for years, I've had the people that have been surrounding me tell me, Ben, you're really good at what you do. Like, you don't understand. You're really good. You can do this. You're really good. I'm like, oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. And I like to brush that off. I don't like to take compliments. Working on it. I have been for years. But one thing that's been really, really helpful is kind of this allowing myself to think that I'm the best, to be able to move forward, to allow myself to believe that I have an edge and that I should be using that edge. And that I should be believing in that edge. And so, like, with all the resolutions that you guys have, all the different lists of all the different things that you guys have set up for 2024, take this into consideration. There's an idea that Russell did in the last challenge last month for how to get anything you want, which was all about seeds. And by the way, this is in the podcast as well. So if you guys have missed that, it's in the podcast as well. He talks about planting seeds, idea from Secrets of Success. You plant these thought seeds. You have 10 seconds in which your mind is starting to realize this thing, and you can adjust and you can pivot and you can change. If you find yourself ever questioning, this is what you pivot to. And so this is how he ends the podcast episode. I just want to, guys, give you, like, this one last little tidbit. Let me know kind of what your thoughts are. And then Susan has some really cool things to share. So one last little bit from Russell's podcast. Highly recommend go listen to all of it.
For those who were concerned about me from last podcast episode, thank you for concern. I appreciate it. And those who are wondering how I'm digging out of it, because a lot of you guys have probably are in that state or been in that state or going to be in that state. This is where I'm starting at. And it's coming back to the secret thoughts, like Andrew Carnegie said, right? Be a man who in his secret thoughts believes himself to be superior to most men, thus deserving of great wealth and power. Okay? Understand that you are superior to most men. You are deserving of wealth and power and success. But it comes down to you believing that in your secret thoughts. reestablishing your confidence. If you're not confident yet, it's like going back and remembering and like replanting those seeds. Think about things that you've done that's successful in the past, replanting it, recultivating inside your subconscious mind. So that's what will grow. That's what will become. And that way, when you're entering situations, like entering, stepping on the wrestling mat, stepping on that knowing I'm going to win, stepping on that knowing that I'm going to be the person that's going to succeed, not stepping inconfidently. You know what I mean? And that's in wrestling, but same thing in business, like stepping into it, like this new offer, this new campaign, this new thing we're rolling out, this new, whatever it is, like coming through with absolute certainty. So
highly recommend, guys, if you have not listened to the podcast episode, definitely listen to it. It's heart-wrenching. It's powerful. And it also gives you the momentum, because a lot of us get lost in the ideas and in the strategies. And the thing that actually drags us back from our success are those inner thoughts. So this is a great way to be able to get that mindset right as we head into 2024. Thanks for letting us listen to those, because they were just really, really good. Go listen to the full podcast episodes, both last week's and the week before, because it'll make much more sense. And it'll be a really good aligning for where you want to go. By the way, Kevin, Interpret is live. Sweet. McCall Jones is here. Yes, McCall. Kevin said, Susan and Ben show.
Thanks,
I know
Kevin, for the compliment.
Yeah, I know sometimes. You're amazing, spectacular. It was a compliment. Once again, I'm shying away, but Kevin, thank you.
For being humble.
Yes. You're able to compete. Let's all compete. Let's go.
Let's make 2024 awesome. Okay, so I think that now's the time to transition. So I just have one thing that I want to do before we leave here today and just go kill it for our week. So let's go ahead and do funnel hacking with me.
Yes.
Because I was thinking, so you probably have all noticed, like with the ads popping up, and here, let's take that down for just a second. Thanks, Christian, though. The ads popping up in your feed and like your friends, their posts promoting what they're going on. There's like a lot of offers being put out there because it's the beginning of the year. It's time for resolutions. I'm seeing like a lot of gym and fitness ads popping up across my feed. Yep. So there's a lot of like almost like these like one time, like it works now while we're at the beginning of the year and now's the time to capitalize it type of like offers being made or events happening. And so I actually had a friend message me this morning. Actually, it was yesterday, but I responded this morning. She's like, how can I want to put out this workshop. I want to do this workshop that is like helping people to do XYZ and it's like relevant for the beginning of the year, right? She's like, how can I use that? How do I put my funnel together to use this workshop to get more people into my continuity? And I was like, oh my gosh, I have the answer for you. So if you are someone out there who is like, you're like, I'm going to do this workshop, but it really only works for like this one time of the year. And I want to capitalize on it the best that I can. So go ahead and put my screen back up. Let's look at the One Funnel Away challenge as our example, because the situation is like, I want to get more people into my continuity, but I also want to give people who are already in my continuity the chance to participate. But I also want to give people who don't have an interest in being in my continuity also the opportunity to participate. So if we look at One Funnel Away as our example and look at the wording that is used on this page, join the challenge. So we're going to use challenge, interchange that with workshop, whatever your event is, right? Masterclass. Join the challenge now for a one-time discounted payment and you give them the option of paying just to join the event. Just give them the option to just join, right? You can pay me $100 and you can come participate in this challenge. Or you can get it for free, get free access with your ClickFunnels trial. Or you could say, or get free access when you try out my blank blank membership or blank blank club or whatever your continuity is, right? So you can give people a couple of options. So normally when funnels, like we shy away from options, but that's like an exception because you're offering them the exact same thing. You're just giving them the option. Do I want to pay for it now? Or do I want to get it for free and join this cool membership, right? Or get the subscription. And I just thought that was really awesome to just take this and apply it to whatever event you might be running or plan to run over the next month or two. Because if you're like, you know what, this thing works now, but it's not really an ongoing, like, I don't want to make this evergreen, that's okay. Run it, let people pay you for it, but also give them the opportunity to join your continuity. You also could have the upsell. I think I'm trying to remember what exactly. I know that there's like branches off of, like, depending on what option you choose, there's branches, because we can do that in ClickFunnels 2.0. Of what the upsell page is, depending on which one they choose. But if they just pay for the one time, like, yeah, I'm just going to pay the $100 and I just want to join your thing, make the upsell some other Mifke to join your continuity. Like, you put the continuity in front of them over and over and over again, and incentivize them to join. So that is what I wanted to share, because I know a lot of you are out there like, oh, I want to do this thing to like kick off the year. But don't just do the one thing and then let them go. Try to get them into your continuity. And then, of course, use follow-up funnels and workflows and all the email sequences to also keep presenting the continuity to them. Because we're going to reference back to Russell's podcast episode. You need to have the belief that them joining your continuity is the best thing for them. Your continuity is the greatest, and it is how you can serve them the best. So get them into it, right? And if you don't have that belief, go figure out how to get that belief for yourself. Okay, that was it. Ben, do you have any thoughts you want to add on to that? Because like, this is a little bit your territory too.
No, I love this too. So like, first off, like the idea of like always putting the continuity in front of them, no matter what happens, 2.0 lets you do that. I have seen that work multiple times. Actually, I think it was Perry Belcher, right after the 5-day lead challenge. If you guys check it out, or no, the Your First Funnel challenge, right after the Your First Funnel challenge, he trains and talks about how he does that, how he puts continuity. If they say no, he has a cheaper continuity. If they say no to that, he has a different continuity. If they say no to that, he gets them to buy a one-time program. But he leads with continuity every single time. That's how his funnel flows. And so this is not like, oh, I have to test this out. I don't know if that works. This has all been tested. Like, continuity is king. It's spectacular. It is the answer. And so leading with continuity is powerful. If you can't get them to take the continuity, that's fine. Do the one time and then change the upsell on the back end. I think that's glorious and smart. And if they do take the continuity, then offer yearly. You'd be shocked how wonderful of a take rate that is. Going yearly on that is a massive, spectacular idea. Just do it. Like, what would I do? Have the offer play. You guys watched how we created an offer for all of our favorite Christmas movies. Go create some offers, have some fun things. Like, what would I do if this was a yearly continuity? Oh, what if we did this? Have some fun. And we're going to get back into the regular sync of things here soon and go back into news and stuff. But just wanted to have fun. Susan, you're holding.
I have one more thing. Okay, so with all that said, if there was one like tactical, strategic piece of advice, because we've talked, Russell's providing some mindset stuff on the podcast. Go do that. Go listen. Mm-hmm. The idea, if you're running a one-time event, but if you were like, okay, but I need some like tactical strategy, where do I start my new year? If you have not gotten the linchpin book yet, you need to go get it, because the idea that I just shared with you of the one-time continuity, whatever, like if you understand linchpin, you will understand how you can make it work for your offers and what you're wanting to put out there. So it's linchpinbook.com. It's like $8. So just go get it and study it. You'll read it in like 2 days. If you are not, if you're giving yourself breaks, like it's like seriously, like you could read it in an hour if you wanted to. Yeah. So go read it, understand it, follow it. That would be how I would start my new year.
Like, the linchpin is literally like this book, the $8 book is literally your playbook for 2024. Like, this should be your only playbook for 2024. And if you're trying to figure out, how do I do that? .com secrets becomes the piece you plug in to answer it. Expert secrets becomes the answer to plug it in. This is the map on the napkin of what you're going to build. Mm-hmm. And it teaches you what you build, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, all the way through. Go and grab your copy of the Linchpin book at linchpinbook.com. Highly recommend that as well. Yes. Wonderful idea.
Amazing. Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us and joining us. We see Veronica and Keith and Kevin's been hanging out with us and we appreciate you hanging out with us for the new
Yes.
year. Oh, and over on YouTube, we've got
Desmond.
Donnie.
Always
Thank you for
Donnie.
joining us. If you guys want to get notified for when we're going live, we go live. If you're new here, we go live every Tuesdays and Thursdays, this same, like half hour ago, this same time, 10 a.m. Mountain Time. And you can text FHTV to 208-231-3797, and that will give you some text notifications. And if you want to go to FunnelHacker.tv, you can get the weekly newsletter that kind of recaps what happened throughout ClickFunnels. And you can also watch past episodes there and on the YouTube channel, the ClickFunnels YouTube channel. So, and in the Facebook group, we're everywhere. Wherever you want to find us, you can find us. Whatever satisfies your need. Hey, Tim is here too. Okay. Happy New Year, everybody. And we will see you on Thursday. Bye.
Bye.
My name is Russell Brunson, and I'm part of an underground group of entrepreneurs that you've probably never even heard of before. We don't rely on cash from venture capitalists to get started, and we don't even have goals to go public either. In fact, our motivation is the exact opposite. You see, we have products and services and things that we know change people's lives. But because we're fighting against the big brands, people with literally unlimited budgets, we have to do things differently. We have to do things smarter. We don't have financial safety nets because every test we take is with our own money. We have to be profitable from day number one. So how do we do that? How is that even possible? If you ask the MBAs or look at your college textbooks, they will tell you that what we are doing is impossible, yet it's happening every single day. And it's happening through an art and a science that we call funnel hacking. It's not really something that I can explain to you. It's something I have to show you. These stories are a glimpse of entrepreneurs just like you who have a dream and a vision who want to change the world in their own little way. I use the funnel hacking process to help make their dreams become a reality. Yes, we are funnel hackers, and these are our stories.